This new moon on 18 degrees of Taurus is going to be kind of a culminating energy. And it's coming into, as we're coming into May of 2024. This month's going to be a lot different than any of the other months that we've seen so far. There's a lot more positive energy coming in. I should say more growth potentiating energy coming in. Because of course, as we know, in the month of April, we had a lot of change, a lot of kind of rocking of the boat, right? So now as we're coming into May, we have two of the luckiest days of the year, first of all, but also too, we have all these energies that are now shifted from Pisces to Aries. So now we have Aries, Taurus, and pretty soon we're coming into Gemini energy. So really this is a collective birthing for everyone. And depending on what house these dominate your chart is going to be depending on, what it's really specifically detailing for you personally. But as a collective, as a whole, right, as what we're seeing on the world stage, we can really see a new, deeper understanding as far as how we want to operate in this new chapter. With Pluto that just had gone retrograde just a few days ago, the Plutonian energy is really strong, and it's been feeling strong because it's different. We shifted from a 16-year cycle with Pluto being Capricorn to now Pluto being in Aquarius. Now it is going to dip back in there, so it's like things aren't fully moving forward in like the way that we really wanted to. Little pieces might be coming together to put the bigger picture together, all right? But it's not going to happen until towards the end of the year once Pluto makes its final pass into 29 degrees of Capricorn and then goes back. But think of it this way. The Plutonian energy is like excavating or drilling into deeper levels of our consciousness or our soul coming into our future, going into your North Node, that you may not really fully understood. Now, with Pluto going retrograde, now it's like the drill is being pulled out and we have to integrate all these new energies, all these new things, all these new feelings that we're experiencing. And these feelings, out in the world, it feels very unsafe, or it's calling attention to the parts of yourself that feel unsafe within yourself. Okay, so this is opening up all of our energetic centers at a very deep and very unconscious and subconscious level. But now this next 6 months is all about bringing that energy from the unconscious into the conscious awareness. Now, we also just had a massive, massive Jupiter-Uranus conjunction at 21 degrees of Taurus. So this new moon is just 3 degrees away from that. And so it's 3 degrees away from Uranus at the same time. Now, I don't want to say Uranus is not good or bad per se. It's unconventional and it's unexpected, right? So this is going to add on to the energy of the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, where we have Pluto that's excavated this part of our soul, remembering, right? Which I really feel like is integrating past life energies into our highest vibrational timeline that we're going into right now. And remember, the bigger picture, 2024 is a transitory year. 2025 is really when the ball gets rolling into this new place. And there's going to be a lot of changes and different things that could look good or bad depending on, your perspective. But that's the thing. These energies are giving us an opportunity to shift our perspective, right? So really, Uranus represents the central nervous system. So this is really going to hit and possibly jack up the central nervous system quite a bit. This is telling us, because the energy is speeding up so fast and so much, we have to learn to slow down. The more we get caught up in the speed of the energy, you notice your mind's been going like a million miles a second lately. And if you continue to get caught up in that, it's going to start to affect you in very visceral and physical ways. Okay. The more we can slow down in the speed of this energy, the more we teach ourselves how to listen to our heart and what we trust that we're guided to do. So you may start to get busy, but if you do, it's going to be doing things that you love. right? It's like we no longer have a tolerance to be able to do things that we hate or that we don't fully really want to do. There's so much resistance and there's just so much backlash from the rest of our consciousness because we had an attachment to external things, right? Now, of course, that's an oversimplification because we do live in this world and we need shelter and food and relationships and all these things that make humans human. What I'm saying is that we need to start creating a plan of action and we need to start trusting our gut and going in the direction, talk to this person instead of that person, right? Maybe you want to collaborate with these people instead of that people. Maybe you want to, maybe you need to learn something in order to really be able to do the bigger picture of what you want to do. But that thing that you want to learn might not be much fun. And this is where you're going to learn how to really slow yourself down or balance out your central nervous system in the process of expansion, which can feel like a contradiction sometimes. So this new moon that is happening on the very late on May 7th to very early on May 8th. It's happening at 18 degrees and 2 minutes, which, we know 1 + 8 = 9. So even though a new moon is starting new chapters, this is really bringing into awareness a part of us that has to leave behind. And with a conjunct to Uranus, this could come very unexpected. It could come out of nowhere. We could feel extremely exhausted. I know I've been feeling exhausted lately. How about you guys? There are just certain things that require more energy to be able to balance out. Okay. And as the energy is balancing out, we're going to integrate these new energies and all these deeper awarenesses are going to come into play. All right. Now, at the same time, we also have Chiron and Mercury conjunct at 21 degrees. So Mercury has gone through its retrograde and it conjuncted Chiron twice. And it also, right when it went to station, go direct, it stationed with the North Node. So the North Node is that pull that we feel in our life into the future, right? Don't really know what it's trying to say or exactly what we're supposed to do. We just try to learn how to feel into the guidance of pulling into this next chapter. So with that, Mercury helped us communicate or really see, or made it very obvious in our face, hey, you got to slow down. You got to, like a friend of mine, is drinking way too many energy drinks. You know what I mean? Like he's got a lot going on. I probably, sleep or rest too much right now with a lot of transition going on. I get super tired sometimes, but I'm at the point where, I gotta rest. Like I literally can't function if I don't rest. So, and I have to allow that to be okay because normally I like to go, 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 Cap Sun, Aries rising. I'm like, let's get this shit done. So learning how to not beat myself up while I'm resting and or exhausted has been a big lesson for me. Now, Taurus also represents the physical body, with Uranus representing the nervous system. And of course, it's a fixed energy. Uranus doesn't really like to be in this energy. Now, with the sun here and the moon, it's at least shining a light on really getting solid understanding of where we're going to go next. And of course, with Chiron conjunct to Mercury exactly at 21 degrees, this is, and mind you, this is 2 degrees away from the solar eclipse that just happened. So we're hitting these points pretty powerfully. This is like communicating to that part of ourselves that maybe we didn't want to communicate to before, right? And being really brutally honest with ourselves. There's a lot of things that have to change and shift right now, and valuables and reorganizing of really everything, of reorganizing of our priorities, reorganizing. I know a lot of people right now that are just having to leave their whole old life that they built from the ground up behind and starting really with blind faith into this new chapter. And the little pieces are coming in now, but really it's not going to come to something that's really malleable or really actionable, I should say, probably towards the end of the year, November, December. And November, December is when all, economic stuff slows down. Now I'll also say that Jupiter is coming into Gemini, and I'll do a separate video of that alone because there's a lot of information to break down with that. But with the economy, we're looking at Jupiter and Gemini is going to bring in this stagflation, which is, it might look bad or difficult from the outside looking in, or maybe if like you're having to get rid of things to be able to make ends meet. There's a lot things are getting really expensive out there, and Taurus is all about the finer things that you want to enjoy, your desires, like living a better life. So I've seen a lot of like you look on social media, you see these young kids just buying all these super expensive cars, having $20,000-$30,000 car payments. I'll tell you what, when stagflation happens, that stuff is going bye-bye. And, it's going to be a reality check. So we really have to look at what is of value. This is like been going through a process of really letting go of things that we used to value. And now it's solidifying these new ideas or new things or new perspectives of what do we value within ourselves, in our relationships, and our material possessions and desires, in our home and family, all kinds of things. And that's going to depend on where it is exactly in your chart. So this is where your self-worth is going to be tested. Now, tested can also mean like major opportunities coming in, right? But when you step into it, have you really done the work within yourself to own it and to really fully, deeply believe that you deserve it? And if you do, you will get it. All right. The authenticity of the energy is going to speak for itself. And Mercury conjunct Chiron is showing you, hey, you don't really value yourself in this way or that way. And we can choose to look at it and be humble, or we can choose to look away and just deny. But I'll tell you what, if you choose to look away and deny your own truth, that's where imbalances and disease are really going to take over and start to flourish. Okay, so we have a lot of opportunities right now for growth and for stepping into a new chapter. But this new chapter, if we want to thrive in this new energy, is going to require us to be really brutally honest with ourselves. If you're in a relationship that's not working, or that's always in some kind of constant tussle or battle, or if you're always in the mixed up with drama, or if you're whatever difficulties that you're having, those difficulties are going to feel like they're speeding up and getting more intense and bigger and bigger and bigger until you feel like you're going to pop. All right. Now that pop is ultimately for your highest and best vibrational good. It all depends on how much you want to fight it. All right. Because, that the Chiron in Aries is like a wounded ego. Right. And we've hit the United States Chiron return now. So not only is our individual ego kind of bruised, but our identity as a country is completely fractured, right? That's what the Chiron return is. It's got to fracture so that we can make it right again, because there's a lot of people that are not doing good things, especially in this country. And that's going to get all cleared up and figured out, but not before it gets kind of ugly. All right. So the more at peace and, in alignment with yourself that you can be and feel and do. And as I was saying, that 4:44 is on the clock. So there we go. There's messages for somebody in there. But the more peace that you have within, the more you're going to attract peace outside of yourself. Even if you're having to let things go, even if you feel like you're losing things that might have been of value, new types of value are going to be born within, and it's those new types of value that are kind of based in blind faith are going to grow and sprout, like a tree. And as they grow and sprout, they look weak and timid and fragile in the beginning, but we're starting this very powerful 14-year-long new process, and we're still in the infancy phase of this 20 and 30-year new cycle as well. So there are many new cycles being born, and this year is really shifting from many layers of the endings to many new layers of new beginnings. Okay, so this new moon just happens to be about it's building upon the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, and it's bringing into our awareness this, hey, if you really like whatever you're dreaming of creating, everybody right now, if you're alive today, you have a purpose, all right? And whatever your dream is, everybody I've been talking to is as having a vision of something new that they want to create. I know so many people, especially in the healthcare field, like nurses and nurse practitioners and registered dietitians and all these different, doctors too, PhDs. They're all wanting to explore the biohacking field and explore the plant medicine field and explore all these different holistic ways of healing and becoming stepping into that different place because they've seen the darkness that kind of comes along with the industry that is trapping everybody in these processes, in these systems that are creating problems and not really creating any solutions for people's highest and best goods, actually hurting a lot of people. So we're going to be seeing more and more people that are shifting to that side as well. And this new moon is going to be a big part of opening up that portal within to see the deeper truth and to get a deeper sense of inspiration to take action on that truth. All right. So stay connected to your faith, stay connected to your heart. And only allow in people that really do support you. If you're finding that situations, people, places, things are sucking the life out of you, get away from that. And that also comes down to boundaries, right? And all this stuff is going to show you where your boundaries are out of whack. Okay, we got to slow the energy down. We got to honor ourselves first and foremost. And as we get in that flow state, we learn little by little. We're all little infants and babies right now, just learning how to walk in this new energy. Okay, so be kind, be easy on yourself. Let go of the things that are no longer serving you. And as you do that, you get lighter and you get clearer and you trust more in the processes that are coming your way. Now, it may not be happening as quickly as you want it to, but it is happening. All right. And the more you trust, the more you have faith, and the more that you have good, solid, healthy boundaries, the better things are going to get. And it's going to be better in a different kind of way. All right. Pluto and Aquarius is like everything is chaos on the outside, but as long as you have peace in here, then you're going to still see all the crazy shenanigans that are going on in the world, but you're going to be okay in here, and your reality is going to reflect that. Okay. You can see it all around you, but it's like we're in a protected bubble. And as long as you're staying true to that, part of you within that protected bubble is getting stronger and stronger with each new moon and full moon and passing, aspect, because things are getting clearer and the growth is happening at deeper levels. So especially expecting this next 6 months, that it's going to almost feel like a bit of like a fairy tale. Now, a fairy tale can be like really dark or it can be really beautiful because the integration through Pluto of excavating that new part of your soul is also mixing with the power of Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces, which is like la la land. This is like, if you're not present, this is why I cannot stress this enough. Presence is so incredibly important. All right. This is where like you could look at something that and the mind control just takes over. Like all these people that are doing these protests and things like that, they have no idea why they're there. It's like groupthink is taking over. Like, oh, this looks cool. You want to go? Yeah, let's go. You get there. You have no idea what's going on and why it's going on, but you still do it because everybody else is doing it. Don't be like that. That is what I would call a sheep. Okay. And that is where you're going to get lost because you're essentially just allowing the discomfort of the unknown to drive your actions. All right. And that will happen if you're too much in here and not enough in here. You got to stay connected to your heart and integrate and let these energies, which some are probably not going to be super comfortable. All right. So it's like we're getting comfortable in the discomfort, but we've already been uncomfortable for a while. All right. And our soul knows this. It's really just our ego that's getting uncomfortable more. All right. And of course, we still have a lot of energy for this next month and a half, 2 months moving through Taurus. So the Taurus energy is very fixed, and it's all going to have to go cross over Uranus, which is unexpected epiphanies, awarenesses. So the universe is giving us all kinds of opportunities to see this. And this new moon is just going to be another massive opportunity to be able to be honest with ourselves and to trust and allow the process to unfold naturally. All right. So thank you for listening. If you resonate with this message, please like, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And if you would like a reading from me, check out the description box below. All my information is there. And I'll see you all on the next video. Have a good day. Aho.